Yeah, live on Kick, right?
Our live coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial out of New York federal court. Right now they're on a lunch break, gives us time to analyze what's happened so far as we begin week 3 in the prosecution of this case.
Man.
And really interesting testimony from what we're getting reports on what happened in court today. But by the way, for the next hour or so, we're going to be taking your questions on YouTube. Any questions you have about today's testimony, anything about that's happened in the case so far, where you...
Bro, you know, it's so like weird and strange, and just like how this kind of took over the world. You know, like just the news about it. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff going on, of course, you know, but just like I'm pretty sure everybody knows about this situation and seeing this man's life go upside down. It's crazy to me. Crazy. He had a theme song. Bro, it's so much that man did. Hey, I don't know.
You think the case is going to go? Submit them on YouTube, and me and my great panel of guests are going to break them down. But before I bring in my guests, I got to bring on right now Elizabeth Milner, law crimes reporter, who has been in that courtroom in New York federal court every single day of testimony, including today. Elizabeth, it's great to see you. I will ask you about what the vibe is and what we're seeing in the court in a minute, but I have to start with the testimony of Capricorn Clark. So this former assistant to Sean Combs, we knew she was going to take the stand. She had been mentioned last week during Kid Cudi's testimony. I want to take this in pieces if I can, so because I know we have a little bit of time with you. So just talk to me real quick about how she began her testimony and how she started working for Sean Combs, and then we'll move into more of the specific allegations regarding.
He got people just out the woodworks just talking. Now this lady supposedly work for him, and she just about to tell her story. How much does this really matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, Jesse, from what Capricorn Clark said while on the stand today, she said that she and Diddy actually go back before she actually started working with him. She said she met him around 2002, and then from there, later on, that's when she started getting into his employment around 2004, between 2004 to 2006. So when she was first brought on, she was brought on as a personal assistant, and she said actually on the first day of the job, she was taken to Central Park. And you might think, oh, we're going to go to Central Park, it's going to be great. But that's not really how she described her first day on the job. She said she went there with Sean Combs, Diddy, and she also went there with Paul Alford. Now, who is Paul Alford? He's actually the security guard that we've known about for a number of testimony, right? But she's actually talking about Uncle Paulie. And so she said that she was brought to Central Park with them. And then she kind of gets into why they would go to Central Park. And it was essentially to threaten Capricorn Clark. Why? Because she actually used to work with Death Row. And who was the
So he out here just threatening old ladies. Man, I don't know, man. It's very, they gonna throw anything out there, bro. Crazy, you know. I'm not on any side, you feel me? I don't care. But it's just like, you know, play fair. They're gonna play fair on both sides. And let's see, you know, may the best men win.
CEO of Death Row, that is Suge Knight, one of Diddy's many arch nemesis. And so she said that she described her previous relationship with Suge Knight as he is actually the father of her best friend's children. So she does not have a personal, like, intimate relationship with Suge Knight necessarily, but she just knows of him and knows him a little bit closer, mainly because of her best friend, and that he is the father of her best friend's children. And so when she was taken to Central Park around this time, this being in 2004, she said that Diddy told her he'd kill her if she had anything to do with Suge Knight. Then there was an objection raised in court. The defense obviously objecting to that statement, but the government continued to ask her about this alleged threat, and she being Capricorn Clark had explained that Diddy was relatively calm while delaying this kind of message to her. She said that during this kind of meetup at Central Park, or during this meeting, that Uncle Paulie said nothing. He was...
Ooh, man. Because look, I heard stories before too, like you know, just scrolling on Instagram and TikTok. But boy, hey, Diddy been a gangster, man. Diddy been a gangster, so I guess so. I don't know, but I don't know like how reliable is this source. But it's like painting a picture though. That's the crazy part about it. Like, man, this whole little court system, and he's just right here before our eyes. Guess so. Guess it pays to be the boss, or it costs to be the boss as well too.
was calm as well too. He was a little stoic from her description of it. And she said, as far as the response to the threat goes, she says, well, we'll just have to see. But Capricorn said while she was on the stand that she should have just been more transparent about her relationship with Suge Knight. And that's when we start getting into the exhibit photos of just some of the security guards that we've seen a number of times through these exhibits. So we were shown a photo of D-Rock, who Capricorn Clark explained was a good friend of Biggie Smalls. D-Rock actually came on board after Capricorn Clark. Then we're showing an exhibit photo of Ruben, who's actually D-Rock's little brother, and she explained that that Ruben came after Capricorn Clark, and so did, she said that Ruben came after Capricorn Clark, same as D-Rock. And then as far as Roger Bonds, we already saw an exhibit photo of him, but we saw that again today. And she explained that Roger Bonds started around the time that Capricorn Clark did. So this was around that 2004 time frame. And then slowly we start to get into the guns. And Capricorn had said that she had observed Diddy with a gun while she was being kidnapped. And obviously we're going to divulge.
I don't know. Because, like, it sounds like a whole bunch of nothing, bro. You know, it's kind of hard to pay attention to because she's doing a whole bunch of rambling, but, like, still sounds like a whole bunch of nothing, bro. And then she's talking about, now we're going to get into the gun. The lady says she saw the dude with a gun. I don't know. That's per se. I know what that is.
Take that piece by piece in just a little bit. But the government asked her, that Diddy has discussed having a gun before because there was this whole, press thing, an interview that Diddy had done with 50 Cent, and we all know Diddy's relationship with 50 Cent is not the best. And so I guess Puff, or who she refers to as Puff, said that Chris Lighty, who was Diddy's manager around that time, said that Diddy said, I don't like the back and forth, I like guns. And Puff, or Diddy, or Sean Combs, as we're calling him, was actually talking about 50 Cent during that exchange. So that was automatically the start of the testimony, right, already going off with a little bit of fireworks after kind of going into how she came to work with Diddy.
Yeah, look, when you're dealing with a racketeering case, we've said it before, we'll say it again, having the assistants, the bodyguard, the security, the people that were in that inner circle is imperative because you're trying to understand the inner workings of this criminal enterprise or this organization, but also, Diddy is ultimately charged in a racketeering conspiracy case alone. There's no other defendants, so you wonder who did he allegedly do all of these things with? Who did he engage in this pattern of criminal activity with? But the reason she is also important is because I believe she is being used to help prove some of the underlying crimes for racketeering. When you're talking about racketeering conspiracy, the prosecution needs to prove at least 2 underlying crimes. So there's sex trafficking, there's
so they're trying to build a RICO charge against. Holy moly. I didn't know that. I just thought, I don't know, they're out here playing games. You feel me? Like, oh man, but they trying to build a RICO charge against him, which is pretty serious crime. And then anything with conspiracy, bro. Anything with conspiracy is crazy. Like, you're talking about 10 years plus. Then you get conspiracy, racketeering, and all this other stuff. That's crazy, man. God dang. That's prayers for him. I don't know. Damn.
Arson, there's kidnapping, there's bribery. But more specifically, what did she say regarding kidnapping? And what did she say, I believe, that may help support the forced labor?
So I'm guessing, are we like past the baby oil stage? Did I miss that? I missed the baby oil stage because I've been hearing things, and I thought that was hilarious. I thought this, but we into some more serious stuff right now. God dang, you feel me? I just wanted the baby oil stage, you know what I'm saying? Talk about the baby oil. Funny things. How he had his own theme song. Been new about that, bro. Diddy has been a savage. Yeah, man.
Allegation. Again, really, really important for racketeering. What did Capricorn Clark have to say today?
Yeah, she said a lot, Jesse. Sometimes I just have to go through my notes to see just where everything is that she had been talking about. But as far as just the kidnapping goes, and I just want to apologize, everyone. I know my voice is a little hoarse, so if it scratches off a little bit here and there, I apologize for that. But so as far as the kidnapping allegation goes, that stems.
And see, the kidnapping thing can go so far left, bro. It's like if you know the law, it's like if somebody's being restrained, like if you're trying to restrain somebody, let's say from fighting, and you like probably take that person in the room separately, they can say you kidnapped them. It's like that slim thing like that, bro. It's like, so with this kidnapping charge out of nowhere, man, that boy fighting an uphill battle, man. Let's go.
from 2011. And what do we know that happens in 2011, specifically around December of that time frame? That is when we start to kind of get into the Kid Cudi and Cassie relationship. Obviously, a very huge talking point throughout a lot of this testimony, especially last week, kind of trickling into this week. And so around this 2011 time frame, Capricorn Clark is no longer Diddy's personal assistant. Now she's a global brand director. So she's around 28 years old around this time. But she said around this time frame, she was also working as Cassie's creative director and manager too. So kind of pulling those double roles. And she said as far as that role of being a creative director, it was kind of about maximizing the optics for Cassie. And so as far as just everything with the Kid Cudi incident, Capricorn Clark explained that Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi in December of 2011. We already know this, but Cassie had asked around this time frame whether or not Kid Cudi could come on a hike with Capricorn and Cassie. And Capricorn actually said that this was going to be a bad idea because Capricorn was concerned whether or not Diddy would find out about this. And so Capricorn was explaining that Diddy had bought her phone, and so he was worried, or she was worried about Diddy seeing these text messages come through.
It's like, it's still weird though, because if you know I don't know. It's a very weird situation. Like, I guess it pays to be one of them or whatever you want to call it. But like, if you know your girl out here with Kid Cudi, like, and the maid, what is going on? I don't know. Very, very suspect.
Through from Cassie, kind of explaining that
this is
she wanted to bring Kid Cudi on this hike that they were doing together. So Capricorn actually explained on the stand today that she was the one who brought Cassie in to buy that burner phone, so that way it wouldn't be traced back to Cassie. That way they could talk without Diddy finding out. So that was kind of a big revelation that we learned today, because Capricorn had explained that she got Cassie this burner phone, or she went with her to Best Buy to buy this burner phone because she was afraid that they would all get killed. There is an objection made by the defense, obviously, because everyone's just like, oh my God, this is now another time where Diddy allegedly threatened to kill either Capricorn Clark or Cassie or somebody in just that fashion. But the objection was sustained, so that part is struck from the record. But Capricorn said she all of a sudden was hearing a loud banging at her apartment. And so she said that she looked through the peephole of her apartment door and she saw that Diddy was upset. He was pacing. His body language looked like something was kind of in his hand. So Capricorn Clark opened the door, and she said when she did, Diddy was still upset. She explained everything that he wore, from a button-down shirt, a sweater, that he had slacks that just...
Man, I don't know, because I'm like, what does this got to do with the case, man? But I guess they're just trying to prove his character right now, bro. Oh, he fighting uphill battle, boy. She say that she done saw everything. Come with your shirt open and it's closed sometimes. Sometimes you flash me, sometimes you don't. All right, dang, Capricorn Clark over here confused, man. She don't know what to think. God dang it. Sometimes you just do crazy things, Mr. Diddy. Oh man, that boy's out here wilding for a long time, man. God dang. But bro, a RICO charge is crazy though. Talking about sex trafficking, but this is just with one woman. This, she's like Harley Quinn to his Joker or whatever.
Just happened to be ripped. And she said it exposed his underwear, but she said that Diddy had a gun in his hand whenever he was banging on her door. And so Diddy said to Capricorn Clark in a very angry way, "Why didn't you tell me who is Scott?" And as we know Scott to be Scott Mescudi.
Yeah, you see him right there. He looks like he's saying, I kill you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, though. It's okay. It's okay, Diddy, man. I don't know, man. I do not know, but right now they telling everything. They telling everything.
And so Diddy told Capricorn, "Get dressed. We're going to kill this N-word." And that's what she said.
Wow.
And I will say here, Jesse, that Capricorn Clark, when she was on the stand, I wouldn't necessarily characterize it as being casual, but as far as just profanity is concerned, she very much just kind of laid it all out there as far as what was said, what words were used. And so it did get a little profane during some aspects of her testimony. And so, yeah, Diddy had told her that they were going to go kill this person, and that person being Kid Cudi. And so during this testimony, I saw that Diddy was jotting down some notes during this. And so Capricorn said that she didn't want to go, but Diddy made her, and he put a gun in his waist, that same gun that he had in his hand, he put in his waist, and that Diddy still seemed mad, but this time mad at Capricorn. And Capricorn said that Diddy had never been to her house before. But once they were in the car, Diddy moved his gun from his waist to his lap now. But notably, Ruben, who we know as also Rue, but is also D-Rock's little brother, was the one who was driving the car. So it was the three of them, Capricorn, Diddy, and Ruben, aka Rue. And so Capricorn explained that she wasn't able to leave the Escalade, which
dang, so they was just got to get to riding and go and try to kill Cuddy. Goddamn, allegedly. Look, I ain't in this. Cause boy, y'all got some stuff going on. You ain't got on no clothes, chasing people, and then Kid Cudi oblivious to the whole situation, talking about going on hikes. Boy, if you don't get out of the boy, it's alright though. It's alright. I guess I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know.
I guess is the vehicle that they had driven down to. She said that everything was just happening so fast. There was no conversation going on. But they went from Capricorn Clark's home all the way down to Kid Cudi's house, or I guess all the way up to Kid Cudi's house in the Hollywood Hills. And then we're showing an exhibit photo of the Google map that shows kind of the direction of driving or direction of travel from Capricorn Clark's house to Kid Cudi's home. And then we see that same exhibit photo of Kid Cudi's front door. And so from there, Capricorn was kind of explaining she didn't know whether or not Kid Cudi was actually at his home, but Capricorn said that she had to stay in the car. Meanwhile, Ruben and Diddy went inside Kid Cudi's home. Capricorn explained that she had called Cassie and called Cassie's burner phone through all of this, and Capricorn had explained to Cassie, she said, Cassie, what the F? And she had told Cassie that she was brought to Kid Cudi's home essentially to be there so that way they could kill him. And Capricorn actually changed the name from Cassie's burner phone over to, like, I guess her best friend's name because she didn't want Diddy to find out that she called her to give her the heads up. But guess what happens next?
Dang, does Cudi know about this? Senor, they're trying to kill you, senor. I don't know. I don't know if you don't mess with Cassie. She told you it was a bad idea. Golly. What is this? This is getting crazy.
Diddy comes out, and she said that while she was on the phone with Cassie, she could hear Kid Cudi on the phone telling Cassie that this man's in my house. Those weren't the exact words that were said, but you get what I'm going with that. But and Cassie was trying to stop him because he could have been killed in this incident, according to Capricorn Clark. Diddy comes out. Diddy explains, who the F are you talking to? Diddy called that same number back, found out that that's Cassie's burner phone, then got livid knowing Cassie even had this extra phone. And so Capricorn said that Kid Cudi later pulled up to his home. He sped off later, though, and then D-Rock, Capricorn, and Rue all followed him in the same car, chased him until they essentially lost him. But then the police responded, and that's when Kid Cudi, I guess, returns back to his home. And it's interesting.
This is some Hollywood shit. If y'all listen to this story is crazy. The lady then came and got caught. The maid then got caught and just started, look, nah, she got a burner phone. Who she been talking? She been talking to Cudi. Please don't hurt me. God dang, look, you got to do your dirt by yourself. That's why you got to do your dirt by yourself. God dang, she done told on everybody. And then she calling Cassie, what are you doing? You done got me into this? No, fuck that. No. I ain't saying none of this. Nuh-uh. He is crazy. He ain't got he just got underwear and a robe on with a gun. He got a gold Desert Eagle. Oh man, dog, this is crazy.
Because I don't recall under direct or even cross-examination that Kid Cudi explaining that he actually drove to the home before the police arrived. But according to Capricorn Clark, that's what she kind of said happened. But she surprisingly said that Diddy was relatively calm when he saw the police sirens going over to Kid Cudi's home, but that afterwards, Capricorn, Diddy, and Ruben all went to the Key Club, and Diddy told Capricorn to essentially call Cassie and tell her to come over here, and Cassie said, okay, well, come get me. So Diddy told Cassie to tell Kid Cudi not to tell the police that Diddy was the one allegedly behind it and not to make a police report about the incident. The Capricorn told Kid Cudi as well, too, not to file this police report, and that Kid Cudi was essentially mind blown. There was another objection. That objection was sustained, so maybe the mind blown won't be in the transcript. But after this event happened and after this, because this was just them going into the home, that Capricorn and Cassie went over to Diddy's house, and Diddy began physically assaulting and being physically violent with Cassie. Capricorn explained that he kept kicking her and he never used his hands. Cassie was crouched into this fetal position.
Elizabeth, let me jump in because it's so loud right now. I know we got the sirens going on. This is the beauty of a live shot right outside the federal courthouse. But look, just from my point of view, look, this is really, really important testimony because it helps establish this alleged kidnapping. It helps to back up what Kid Cudi had testified to. It helps to describe and back up and corroborate with what Cassandra Ventura had testified to. All this idea that the jury has to believe that Sean Combs was essentially a mob.
Yeah, see, they trying to sell the story, but dang, it got deep. It got deep. It did get deep, ladies and gentlemen. Man, they brought the lady up, Miss Clark, up here. He didn't got to telling everything. Kid Cudi was oblivious to the situation. Then he came back and said, yeah, it happened. Boy, now if Diddy found free, everybody gonna run. Everybody gonna run. I'm telling you, dog.
Boss, that he was running this criminal organization and had people, engaging in this kind of behavior. And I'll pick it up back to you because the sound stopped. But, also real quick, she talked about her work. And she talked about being forced. I mean, if we're talking about forced labor, it wasn't just the hours. I mean, she talked about the hours she had to work as well, but also the kind of circumstances of her job too, right?
She did, and as I'm trying to go through my notes, everyone, that's also the beauty of the live shot is writing or finding.
That's that bull. He telling her, he coaching her what to go into. God dang it, come on now.
Your place where you'd wrote down everything because you write down so many notes, I should say. But as far as just the overworking that she did, she said on a good night she got 4 hours of sleep, and then on a bad night she got 2 hours of sleep. I personally think 4 hours of sleep is kind of a bad night, but according to her, that was just pretty typical. She said that she even got stress-induced alopecia from working with Diddy. She even had to go to a doctor. She said that around that time frame she was making about $65,000 as her salary as a personal assistant. But the thing is, Jesse, she went to HR, and HR.
I don't know. Is that good? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Dang, could you be Diddy's personal assistant for $65,000 a year? God dang it! You gotta let me know. Cause look, that's a lot of that come with that. But you get the perks of so many things. You feel me? But dang, you're so close. You're too close. Too close. That's just me. I'm like, you're too close. Ain't a lot I do for money. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because once you do one thing for money, you're gonna do something else. But look, maybe you guys, $65,000 a year, Diddy hiring. God dang. That's what the pay is.
Calculated Capricorn's overtime, and she said that she had enough overtime that was owed to her, totaling about $80,000 of overtime. That's a lot of money. But what did Diddy do whenever he was shown kind of this paper receipt and kind of this document that showed that she was owed $80,000 in overtime? Diddy allegedly ripped up this paper. That's what Capricorn Clark said while she was on the stand. But like a lot of the other assistants that have testified so far, including David James,
Miss Capricorn, look, she got paperwork. Miss Clark got paperwork. I don't want to butcher her first name, but I think it's Capricorn, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Miss Clark. Yeah, man, she got receipts. Okay. I don't know, did it? Dang it. It was out here wilding, man.
And George Kaplan as well, that Capricorn Clark's one of her many duties was to set up hotel rooms. And even just thinking about this time frame, right, Jesse, it's from 2004 to 2006. So this was before the Cassie relationship that she was still required to set up these hotels. She said that she would unpack a camera box. This camera box had a camera, lube, baby oil in it. She said that she had to unpack Diddy's clothes, his shoes, a toiletry bag,
See, man, I guess I'm a little bit too late for the baby oil stories. Guess that's over and done with. Man, I want to hear about the baby oil stories, man. Guess everybody know about it but me, because I don't know how in-depth it got. I just know it was a lot of baby oil. Something got to do with Costco. I want to know about that, man. All right, man. That boy tripping.
bag was that Louis Vuitton bag that allegedly had drugs inside of it. She said there were drugs like ecstasy inside this bag. Kind of still the same old tricks, it seems like, too, from just booking these hotel stays, that if it was one of Diddy's girlfriends, because again, this was before Cassie Ventura, that the name for the girlfriend would be Jackie Starr, a same alias that was used by Cassie. She had explained that as far as the names for the hotel reservations for Diddy specifically, she said that those could be either Frank Black, they could be Frank White. She even said that during some of these hotel stays that he being Diddy would stay at the hotel with Kim Porter, and this would be something that would happen at least once a week, but there were other girlfriends who would stay at the hotel too. And then even in the aftermath of everything, Jesse, it's kind of that same old thing where she would pack up all of his stuff and clean up after him, and what was kind of on the walls and kind of the stickier stuff that's found inside these hotel rooms, it was baby oil. So it was interesting kind of hearing that even before the Cassie Ventura relationship goes, that Capricorn Clark was essentially doing the same type of responsibilities that other...
Look at my brothers in the back. Y'all saw them? That's hilarious. Get your shine time, Pimpin'. Get your shine time.
Assistants did while Diddy was with Cassie and even after the fact.
Right. Well, listen, we have a lot to break down with her testimony and what to make of it. But Elizabeth Milner, thank you so much for the in-depth report. It feels like I'm, reading.
Man, it's Diddy. Dang. That's crazy. Hey, shout out to Diddy, Lessons.